What if you had no control over your RuneScape account? What if every quest, every skill, and every decision was picked by someone else? Or rather, something else? This is my RuneScape Ironman account, completely controlled by AI. Every action I take, it's dictated by ChatGPT. From the gear I wear to the monsters I fight, I don't get a say. Welcome to GPTLocked. I think I'm gonna make the name of this account GPTLocked. We obviously have to keep the default bot look, right? I was testing this out earlier on a different account. So I had a little bit of an experimental run before this. I will say it went a little bit better than I expected. So I'm excited for this one now that I have my new and improved mega prompt, basically. So we'll see. Boom. We are now officially members. Brand new account, ready to start GPTLocked. Here we go. All right. I'm going to send my super prompt over to ChatGPT, and we're going to see what our first task is going to be. Alrighty, I see a lot of 10s in this. Let's see what we're doing. So the gist of the action plan will be we're going to attain shrimps, cook them, chop 10 logs, burn the 10 logs, mine 10 copper, smelt 10, smith 10 bronze daggers. I do have to let it know I cannot use the Lumbridge range until cook's assistant is completed. All right, now what we're gonna do is complete cook's assistant first, fish the raw shrimps, cook those shrimps, and then pretty much everything else is gonna be the same. All right, this is way different than what it gave me to do last time. So, all right, let's go complete cook's assistant. All right, 10 raw shrimps. That's not much fishing XP, and it's not many shrimps, but we're gonna go get them. ChatGPT is the brains, and I am simply the hands, the eyes and the hands. All right, we got our 10 shrimp. Next step is to cook them at the Lumbridge range, and then after that, we're gonna be chopping some logs. I had 1 shrimp from the tutorial, so we only managed to cook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So 50% of them were cooked. Not bad. Let's go bank that. And then chop these logs. Alright. This should be log number 10. Go ahead and burn them. Alright, next step will be to mine 10 copper, 10 tin. I'm gonna actually go and read the more in-depth instructions. Make sure that it wants me to do it at Lumbridge. It wants us to have cooked shrimps on our inventory in case we need to heal. All right, GPT. I've appreciated that. Looking out for the survivability of the cooked shrimp. You know, I'll bring a couple. I'll bring 2 shrimp. Never know. Now I'm curious. So on my first run, I was asked to smith, but you don't actually start out with a hammer off Tutorial Island, and it never told me to get a hammer. So I'm wondering if I'm going to run into the same issue. I already did run into the same issue of it not understanding that the range for cook's assistant needs cook's assistant. So I'm assuming I'll run into the same issue of the hammer, but I think that's fine because with those types of situations, I can just reply back and say, hey, that's not possible. This requires that. I mean, it's basically the same as giving it wiki information. I'm not really giving it guidance. I'm just telling it like, hey, we can't do X, Y, and Z. Oh no, I ate one of the shrimps by accident. I'm sorry, ChatGPT. Now, for those of you who really know how the AI works and you've worked with ChatGPT for a while and maybe you use it daily or you've used it for some actual projects, you know how this can end up. You know it can end up in a death loop cycle of basically sending me off to do minute noob tasks over and over and over. However, I kind of think that's a good thing because this is the way I want to play the game, you know. people lock their accounts in all kind of weird ways. Tile lock, chunk lock, roll a random dice and collection log item lock me. So I want to be locked to ChatGPT instructions. And that's how I want to play this account. And if it sends me into a spiral of stupid activities left and right, then so be it. But we're going to see. That's all I'm saying is we're going to see. I had a lot of fun on the test account that I tested it with yesterday. So I think it's going to end up being a pretty good experiment. And with that said, we have collected our 10 and 10. And now let's see what it asks us to do next. I'm curious, does it know we need a hammer? One of the biggest and most impactful changes I made when I was working on the test account yesterday was that I started making it require sources for everything it tells me. It has to link to a wiki page. And it doesn't make it perfect, obviously, but it has eliminated so many different issues that were happening yesterday. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm sure there's going to be more updates to the prompt in the future, but luckily ChatGPT is pretty easy to work with. You can just start a new chat when you have a fresh prompt. And you can always remove the memory if you wanted to get rid of all the old stuff. So it's perfect. Guys, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of GPT. Look at this. I've never played an Ironman, so a lot of this stuff I don't know off the top of my head. But it's claiming there's a free hammer and I can go collect it. So I'm headed upstairs near Bob's shop. We're gonna see if there's a free hammer. Guys, I don't see any stairs. Oh, no, maybe over here. Guys, I'm not seeing a hammer, guys. I'm so sad. It hallucinated. It's fine though. I'm just gonna let it know that it's wrong, and we're gonna see if it can pick up the pieces. All right, we're not really steering it in any direction. I'm just telling it you're wrong. You're wrong. And it's like, okay, I'm wrong. You're going to go buy a hammer. So we got there. All right, boom. Hammer has been obtained. Wants us to go now to the Lumbridge anvil. Smith them into bronze daggers. All 10. Alrighty. Once we're done with these, we just got level 3 smithing, by the way. Once we're done smithing all of this, ChatGPT wants me to bank everything and give it an update with the account status. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, I'm going to update the items and the stats. And then we're going to start a new chat and see what we get. All right, we're going with the cowhide, canning, chickens, feathers strategy. Okay. He didn't say anything about cooking extra food or doing anything with that raw beef, so I guess we'll just have to work with what we've got, guys. Nah, never mind. Who am I kidding? GPT's probably got the perfect plan, right? This is all the food we're gonna need, right? Speaking of Old School RuneScape booming, I saw a freaking notification on like I was like on a random free-to-play world, and it said there's a lot of players on this world. Would you consider moving to a quieter one? I was like, golly, dude. How many people are online? Looks like we have 6 more hides and 6 more beef to obtain. So let's go ahead and grab those. All right, this will be the last cow. Cow number 50. We made it. Only had to die like 3 different times. Okay, next step. Cook the raw beef. Oh, now you want me to cook the raw beef. After I had to slay these cows with no food, now you want me to cook the raw beef. Okay, GPT. All right, this will be the last 3 we have to cook until we move on to the next step. We ended up getting 11 cooking out of that. Not bad. All right, so it looks like the next step. We have to sell the cowhides. We need nothing in our equipment. We're going to want our cowhides. 24 coins to pay the Alcor gate fee instead of taking the freeway. We're going to go to the tanner. Sell them to Ellis the tanner. He'll buy them if you talk to him. I don't believe ChatGPT. We got to let ChatGPT know that Ellis does not buy cowhides. Here is his wiki page. I'll paste the wiki page. All right, so it's completely taken out the selling the cowhide step. And now we're going to train combat and collect feathers. I can't quite remember the reasoning why they removed random events that, like the evil chicken that could damage you, or like that troll that would pop up and start smacking you. I forget their reasoning why they made it to where they're just all skippable and you could just talk to them. Now that we're 5 attack, we're going to start working on 5 defense, and once we've reached that, we'll be done with the chicken farming. Alright, one more chicken and we should be getting 5 defense. That puts us at 4 prayer. And this will be the last chicken right here. Boom, 5 defense. We'll finish it off, loot it up, and then check the next steps. Alright, we basically got to the bottom of the list, so we're going to check the bank, get an updated list of all our items, and then we are going to update our stats and start a fresh new chat and see what our next steps are going to be. Yeah, I'm hoping it gives us some quests for the next step, but we're going to see. All up to ChatGPT. It's not up to me. Even though I want to do quests, I might have to kill 300 more cows. Who knows? Oh, hey, buddy. My twin. We're going to train range, tan the cowhides, craft the leather gloves, and complete sheep shear. Okay. Interesting. So we're going to ignore drops and loot our arrows, and we're going to get 5 ranged. All right. All right, we completed the task for ranged. We got 5 ranged off cows with only 2 arrows to spare. Cut it pretty close. For the next task, it wants us to tan hides, but we need 26 coins. But it thinks chickens can drop gold, so I had to send it a little wiki message with the chickens wiki, showing it that chickens don't drop gold. So we're going to see what the new plan is. All right, new steps. We're going to kill goblins for coins. We need a bronze sword, a wooden shield, 15 cooked meat. We'll keep the clue scroll. We're going to kill them in the hut using strength attack style. And we're going to do this until we have 26 coins. It sucks that I can't pick up those earth runes that I'll need later for waterfall. But ChatGPT said I'm only allowed to pick up coins and berry bones and to ignore all other drops, like that bronze square shield, which would be an upgrade. We just have to ignore it. Boom. 13 strength. 11 combat. Good job, ChatGPT. Getting me some nice levels. Alright, and with that, we have 30 coins now. So we're going to go ahead and check out the next steps, which will be tanning hides in Al-Kharid. Alright, we have now completed tanning. I believe the next step is going to be to do sheep share, but let's see. Alright, according to ChatGPT, we need to buy a needle, 1 needle, and 5 thread. It thinks it's going to cost us 21 coins, but in fact, it's going to cost us actually only 5. But we only have 4. So ChatGPT says, if I have less than 21 coins after tanning, return to goblins for more. So I guess we'll fight goblins until we get 21 coins, I guess. That's specifically what it wanted. So we'll go get 21 coins. We'll go buy this needle and thread. And then I think sheep share will be next on the list. All right, we got lucky with the drops. We actually ended up with 33 coins. So now we, I believe, have to return to Al-Kharid. Yeah, and get the needle and thread. Once again, it doesn't tell me how to get to Al-Kharid, so I'm going to take the long way around because ChatGPT has a problem with coins, and I definitely want to be saving every last drop. All right, we made it here. We need to get 1 needle and 5 thread. All right, if this thread lasts, yep. All right, we used it up on the last glove. Wow. So we finished the gloves. We have 7 crafting now, and now let's go ahead and knock out sheep share.
So I put it in the rules that I'm allowed to use Quest Helper, and I don't have to have ChatGPT walk me through how to do a quest. The only parts ChatGPT has to get right is the prerequisites and making sure that I have all the required items for the quest and how to obtain those items. But actually completing the quest, I'll be doing that part. I feel like it's a little silly to have ChatGPT walk me through like a Old School RuneScape wiki guide on how to do the quest. I mean, it can obviously read off the wiki, can perfectly guide you through any quest. So I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of what's going on here. Like it's not really to see how perfectly ChatGPT can play RuneScape. It's just to see what kind of goals it sets in mind and the direction it takes my account, you know. Boom, and that is sheep share completed. 150 crafting XP and 60 coins. That is going to help this account out a lot. Level 8 crafting, we take those. Beautiful. Let's check the next step.
Next time on GPT Locked.
You can do it, you little GPT boy. Oh my god, I just got chanced like 6 times. Go! Guys, I'm nervous that I'm gonna die. I think I'm just gonna bank my stuff.